Welcome back to another episode of Health Builds Wealth, where we have real conversations to help you and I take ownership of both your health and your wealth. Because when one grows, so does the other. I'm your host, Aaliyah, and today we're going to be diving into a topic that's been on a lot of people's radar with conversation lately. It's 2025. As we know, Trump is back in office for another 4 years, and it is causing people in a frenzy because there's so much that he is taking action on. Some people agree with it, some people don't, and I feel like the world is just like so divided. The topic for today is, how do we grow our finances? How do we keep striving towards our goals? How do we get closer to, or how do we get closer, and how do we take the right steps to allow us to feel closer to our goals during this time where it feels like everything that's happening in the world is kind of like feeling like so much, and it's like we don't even know how to help, we don't even know how this is going to affect us. We know that prices of food is up, we know gas prices are up, we know that like inflation is up. So it's like, how are we going to strive, and how are we going to stay focused, and how are we going to build wealth and own our health and our wealth, knowing that this is going on while this is going on? What should the next 4 years kind of look like for us? And I thought that this was really important to talk about, because it's very easy to get tricked out of our spot. It's very easy to be in that worried mindset, especially with social media. We're scrolling, we're looking at so many stories happening, and it could just feel so overwhelming, and then we can kind of lose ourselves. And then because so much is happening, it could tend to make us feel like our goal is even more further because now they're taking away certain things or whatever is going on in the world. Okay, if we know these things are happening, right? How can we still strive with these things still going on? Because I don't know if you guys remember, but my first episode, I said that in life there are laws, and when there's laws of life, you kind of understand life in a different way, and you kind of could play the game of life. And one law to understand is the law of polarity. There cannot be one thing in life. There cannot be a whole to exist without two sides. So there cannot be a boy without a girl. There cannot be good without bad. There cannot be a one-sided pancake, a one-sided sheet of paper, one side of your body, right? There's two things have to make up a whole. So what does that mean? There cannot be lack without opportunity. So if there's lack, right? If we're seeing lack in social media, we're seeing lack in politics, we're seeing lack in just day-to-day life, where's the opportunity? That's what we're talking about, because we're here to have healthy conversations. We're here to have healthy conversations because we're not going to let outside things going on, outside events, affect our plan or affect the way that we view our future and the way that we're acting towards our future every single day, right? Because it's about intentionality and what we do in the moment. So we can only focus on what we can do in the moment. First things first is changing your mindset. With anything and everything that you're going to begin to do is changing the mindset. But I'm not going to stick on mindset too much because I think that I went in depth. If you haven't seen my last episode 2, yes, we're on 3, period. And if you haven't, subscribe, leave me a comment. I would love to get some feedback because I'm just beginning and I'm starting and I'm getting a little bit more comfortable. But in my last podcast, my last episode, I talked about change and the mindset that's needed for change. So I'm not going to talk too much about mentality, but the first thing is to change your mentality, to understand, okay, there is lack. Now where's the opportunity? The second thing is the real, and I'm just going to keep it real and straightforward today because like we ain't got time to play games. Like literally, these people are, I don't know if you know, but like large corporations, large businesses, they plan like 5 years in advance. So it's like we need to have our 5-year plan in advance. So the first things first, we're going to need extra streams of income. We're just going to need extra streams of income. And I know like most of our issues is like, I don't got time, I'm tired, I don't even have the money to even like like maybe get a babysitter to watch my kids so I can go get an extra job, or I don't even have the money to get in my car and do Uber Eats, right? Like I know, trust me, I know, I get it. I've been there, I've been through the process. But we gotta figure out a way to make money. Like, listen, guys, I'm seeing people on TikTok be on live at their jobs. I'm not telling you to be on live at your job, but I'm just saying, like, wherever there's lack, there's opportunity. Let's change our mindsets. I'm seeing people on live make money on TikTok. You can literally be on live while you're cooking, whatever it is that you do good. Okay, I have this saying here on my phone, and it's on my phone. It says, what things do you do best? What would it take for you to be able to share those talents with the world? How does it feel seeing yourself do it? Lock into that feeling that you matching the frequency of what you desire, finding your radio station. So I just wanted to share that, because whatever it is that you do good, I want you to be able to leverage it so that you can be able to make an extra stream of income, right? Because you may not have time, but you're already doing something that you probably do good that you can probably leverage and sell something off of that, right? That goes back to, I don't know if it was the first episode that I talked about Atomic Habits, the book, and it said like when you're replacing when you want to create new habits, you gotta attach it to a habit that you already have in place, because you're already used to that habit. So what are you gonna do? Whatever it is that you do good, this is my first idea for you, is figure out a way to leverage it so that you can make money. Like if you make good food, figure out a way to either sell plates or to do content, to collab. Like find a way. If you are home, figure out a way to babysit. If you only have an hour, figure out if you can do like Uber Eats. If you don't have a license, you can set it up Uber Eats with a bike. Like we need to create extra sources of income. That's just the reality, right? And I know we've all heard it, I know we've heard it before, like the 7 streams of income is what's going to create success. But I kind of just want to clarify to you guys, you don't need 7 different sources of income. We've got to take care of our finances. Like if we don't have the money, we're going to drown. And there's nothing but money being printed. And there's so many ways to create money. The issue is, I think that we all know how to make money. I think like we all know how to make money. We know how to work a job. We know how to hustle. We know how to like exchange things. We know how to make money. It's how we keep our money and grow our money. That's the important thing, right? So like maybe you may not have the time to grow your finances and create another side hustle, right? But you most likely have a job, have an income, and maybe you need to cut back on some expenses so that you can take that money that you're spending on subscriptions, on eating out, on doing your nails. And I'm telling you, because I literally today took off my nails and I was like, I'm not gonna go do my nails and spend $130 on nails. I'm just gonna do manicures. Like the reality is that I need to do my nails because I'm just that girl, and my nails gotta be done. No matter what I'm going through in life, like I could be going through it, my nails gotta be done. I'll do a little manicure. And a manicure was still not expensive, like freaking $60. I'm like, dang, I'm gonna have to do this by myself in my house. Like I literally was considering that today. I was like, I'm gonna have to get the UV gel, because I really only do like simple colors, like 3 colors in rotation. I do white, I do like a nude, and I do a pink. I don't be doing nothing too special. Like sometimes I do the French. I don't do nothing too special. I'm a very simple girl. But like, I'm telling you, like even me today, I was like, okay, I need to cut off a few expenses, because if I want to be where I want to be for 2026, like I gotta start now, and I really gotta lock in this year, because that's really my goal for 2026. So small steps, but like, you know, wherever there is lack, there's opportunity. So wherever you feel like you're lacking, okay, we're lacking in our finances, where's the opportunity to find where we can make more money? We're gonna have to make some sacrifices. That's just the reality of success, right? You gotta pay the price. Okay, I didn't say that this was gonna be free. We're building something, and it costs to build. It costs, and we cannot save our way to wealth. That's just not the truth. Like, I just want you to know that. Like, you cannot save yourself to wealth, because things are gonna happen, and then your savings, you're gonna have to use it, and you're gonna keep having to replenish your savings. So the next step after figuring out like, okay, what kind of side hustle can I do? Do I do something good maybe during my time, so that I don't have to like put time away? I can just maybe record, and maybe you just take some extra time to like edit and post your content, right? Or maybe you pay somebody, right? I don't know. Whatever works for your life. If maybe those don't work, okay, now we have to sacrifice, and the money that we are making and the time that we are investing in making money, because we all know how to make money, what are we doing with it? What are we doing with it? Having real conversations. Let's invest in whatever is best for you and your lifestyle and what you want to do. An investment, maybe we may not have the clarity on how to invest, right? Like I'm trying to play devil as advocate here, because I understand that like a lot of us, it's hard. It's already hard on a day to day. So it's like me trying to do something different, trying to invest, trying to learn something new, trying to learn a new skill, new hustle. It's hard. I get it. Like even me trying to record along with everything that I have going on in my life, it's like I'm behind already. I'm already behind, and I'm only on episode 3. So just imagine. I'm like, yo, like how am I gonna do this? But we gotta like kind of adapt. So maybe you don't know how to invest, right? And that's okay. There's free shows like this show that will share with you some things for you, some like investments accounts or some accounts for you to kind of like research, right? You don't have to read a ton of books or a ton of pages to learn. There's this thing called ChatGPT. If you don't know, you need to know right now. You need to download ChatGPT. I literally live off of ChatGPT. You can ask it anything and it will answer your question. Kind of like Google, without you having to find links to have to read through. ChatGPT will answer anything that you want to know. Anything. Like literally, you can ask I literally ask ChatGPT all types of random questions. I'm like, I wonder what this, I wonder what that. Like literally, you can ask ChatGPT, what financial accounts should you have to build wealth, and it will tell you, and it will tell you which financial account is for what, right? So like the whole point of Health Builds Wealth is to bring awareness, and I hope that I'm at least bringing you to a point of awareness at this moment where like I'm kind of breaking down like, yo, make sure you got this aligned, make sure you do this, you know that this exists. Yo, just look into that real quick. Like, it's to put us on, because we need to put each other on, right? Like, we gotta put each other on. It's important. Like, because the higher ups are not looking for us. If anything, they're taking away from us. Less opportunities for us. So we need to make opportunities for each other and help each other learn how to build and create wealth and health, so we can be happier and strive and work together and create a community where we can encourage each other and really live the lives that we want to live, because like there's really no reason why we can't. The answer is excuses, limiting ourselves and not believing. So getting back to what I was trying to say, a book that I read that really changed my perspective about finances and growing my finances and how I even act on finances, because that's another thing. We're not taught finances in school, and then our parents, like my parents were struggling all their lives, like always at work, I'm home alone, like always working, and they never even taught me about finances. My dad just told me make sure you have good credit, and my mom told me always save your money. And it's just like, okay, cool, but like I'm saving my money, but I'm always in a routine of having to save and having to spend, having to save and having to spend. And then my credit, like, yeah, I have good credit, but like I didn't understand the importance of credit. So that's another thing. Make sure you're like working on your credit. Like if there's anything I can tell you about credit, is just pay your minimum payment on time, no matter what. Okay, if it means that you eat noodle soups that day because you have to pay your minimum, pay your minimum, because the credit is going to leverage you to be able to take yourself, your ideas, your brand, your creativity, whatever your desires and your like whatever you want to do to the next level, because there's this thing called business credit that we'll talk about probably in the next episode. Business credit is a whole nother ball game. Yeah, business credit is a whole nother ball game to take your business, your brand to the next level. But we can't do that unless we put ourselves in position to be able to get to that level, right? Like there's steps, there's levels. So emergency savings, right? Make sure you're putting some extra money on the side in case anything happens. I've learned that having at least a good 6 months saved of your expenses monthly is what you want to aim for, right? Before you even start investing into investing accounts. Like you want to have a good 5 to 6 months saved, maybe 3 if you're like somebody that's like, yo, I really want to start investing. Like I really want to start investing and I want my money to grow. maybe 3, but I would really say keep it safe. 6 months, have a good saving. The book what I was trying to say was like, I read this book called The Richest Man in Babylon, and he basically said, whatever you earn, you take 10% of that and you put it away and you pay yourself, right? So you pay yourself. So what I like to do is I like to take my 10% and I invest it into my emergency savings, and that's what I do as far as paying myself, so that anything happens, I'm good. Like a bad day, I'm good. I can cover that. Some investment accounts that are really good to invest in and grow your money long term. Now, these are not short term plays. These are not get rich quick. This is not, oh, put your money and then like in a few months, a few weeks, a few days, you're going to see growth. No, this is like over time, like years, right? Like this is years. One thing I have to learn the hard way is that wealth takes time. Like it takes time. I don't know if you noticed, but if you start to pay attention of people that reach a level of success, most of the time they've been attacking that goal or that result that you're seeing for a minimum of 5 years. Like if you just pay attention, it takes time, right? And you got to think about it as like a baby, right? When you, or like a baby, right? If you're starting a business and it's your first year, imagine a baby at its first year is still needing to learn how to walk, is still needing to learn how to talk, is still needing guidance, is still needing clarity. So you got to think of your money and what you're growing, right? Like a baby. The first year, they're still gonna need help. Second year, they're a little bit more efficient, but they still need help. Third year, they're doing things on their own. They're more independent, but you still gotta kind of like guide them. Fifth year, so that's how you gotta think about wealth. Like it's gonna take years, minimum 5 years. So what we're doing is we're creating a plan for what the next 5 years looks like. So not think that like, oh, Aaliyah said to invest and to save my money and I'm gonna be good. Like, no, it's gonna like minimum at the 5th year is when you're probably gonna see the best results. I'm not saying you probably see sooner results. Who knows? Like, I don't know. The point is to put ourselves in position so that we are in position, right? Because I talked about this in the last episode. Luck, when people be like, yo, you're so lucky, luck comes from preparation meeting opportunity. If we're preparing ourselves with an emergency savings in case something ever happens, we can take care of that. If we're preparing ourselves with an investment account where our money is growing 2, 3, 4, like in percentage, where versus sitting in a bank account, it's growing yearly 0.0 something 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 point something something something, when if you can put it in things like the stock market, things like the crypto market, you can put it into a Roth IRA. You can even get like a 401k. Most jobs provide those and they actually match you, so they're providing you free money. Match like how much you're putting into the 401k. So those are like some investment accounts, ETFs, mutual funds, bonds. Those are things that you want to look at. Do a little bit of research, use ChatGPT, go on YouTube, listen to a podcast. Maybe I'll go in depth about those investment accounts so that we can kind of understand them a little bit more. And I can, because like a lot of times when we're researching things, the verbiage and the language could be so like confusing that we don't really grasp what it is and the benefits. But those are investment accounts that you can put your money in. It's gonna grow yearly, quarterly, and you get benefits from investing in them. Just learning these things, and I'm just getting invested in them, and I'm just like getting into my routine of making sure I pay these things monthly and budgeting my money, and on this plan that I'm kind of sharing with you guys, which is why I want to give it to you guys. Yeah, I don't feel like confused. I don't feel lost. I don't feel fearful for my future. I don't feel like what is going to happen with my finances. I don't feel like what's going to happen with this, because I'm aware and I'm on this plan and I'm working at my plan, and I've been doing that for a few years now, even though I'm still learning in my journey on how to continue to grow my investments and grow my finances. But I feel very secured and I feel very confident, and nothing in the outside world is affecting me. Like nothing in the politics, nothing. And I want the people to feel like that. Like I want people to own their health and their wealth. You do not need to feel fearful or scarce or oh my God or limiting. None of these, all these are negative energies. And when we have these negative energies on us, we cannot think clearly to make creative, clear decisions. So that's the whole point of why like I'm sharing it, because like I want people to feel clarity in their process and whatever it is that you want to own and do with your health and your wealth and your life. So you can also invest in real estate, right? Like that's probably a great asset, but a lot of us are still on the step of like even trying to differentiate our money, budget our money, see where our money's going, save, invest. Like we're still in that step, and that's okay. If you're in that step, that's okay. Work on it every single day. Manage your money. Know how much is coming into your account. Know how much is coming out. Every single dollar. Like when you start to pay attention to your money, I'm telling you, you'll start to realize like, why am I paying for this? Why am I paying for that? Why? Like what? Why? When I can be putting it here. And then when you start to learn that there are like high interest rate savings account where you can put some money to save your emergency funds, and that's going to give you like interest, right, towards your money. You're now making money off of your money. And there's so many ways for us to grow our income. I think that we're just not having these conversations enough to normalize it. I think that when it comes to investing, people get scared and they get fearful, which is totally understandable because we're emotionally attached to our money. So it's like if you're telling me to put it somewhere that I can't see it, I can't control it, and I can't touch it until some time, and that's a little nerve-wracking. Like I get it. You know, I used to trade in a company with people, and I learned in that company like most people are emotionally attached to their money. So I get it, but it's like if we don't figure out ways to grow our money, we're going to always be on a hamster wheel, going to go get the money, saving it, having to spend it, go get it, saving it, having to spend it. And that's just tiring. And I think that we've all seen our family members and people close to us live that life. But there's also opportunity for you to grow yourself, for you to own your health and your wealth and grow your money. And I didn't know that. I had to hustle for money. And while hustling is good, I had to learn like, yo, like I'm making money, but how do I grow my money? How are people like wealthy? How are people wealthy, like super wealthy, like have a team? And how do people like really like be able to go buy buildings and all these things? They're growing their money and they're leveraging their money and they're using other people's money. And we'll talk about that in the next few episodes. But for now, I've spoken about the mindset of understanding lack, and with every lack, because it is just a law of life, there's, in order for one thing to exist, the opposite has to exist. And if there's lack, then there's opportunity. So I spoke about the mindset to have. I spoke about, putting money aside to be able to have for rainy days, because things are going to happen in the process of you trying to be better, own your health, own your wealth, be disciplined, grow yourself, grow your income, and you're going to need to fall on something. And if you don't, then that's going to be discouraging, and it's going to end up forcing you to go back to where you started, where you're not even thinking about growing yourself or growing your money, or thinking that whatever it is that you desire or what you want is real or close, right? So we want to eliminate that stagnantness or that like disruption, because with every intention there is disruption, right? Kind of like when you go to the gym, the first day that you go to the gym, you're going to be sore, right? How do we help ourselves not be sore? By understanding, what does soreness come from? It comes from, excuse me, it comes from our muscles being dehydrated. How do we hydrate them? With water, right? So we want to make sure that we drink enough water in place so that when we go to the gym, we're not feeling that much pain, right? So we want to make sure that we have enough stability as an emergency savings. You can find high interest savings accounts where you put your money in, you save it there, and it grows at a high interest, right? That you want to find ways to grow your money, and you can do that, right? And the next thing is now, going back a little bit to mindset, if you have your finances together, if you're like building your credit, paying things on time, you're like paying yourself first, putting your 10% away, you're like getting educated on long-term investments that are secured and are going to grow your money, and you can borrow back tax-free and going to grow your money tax-free and give you high interest rates, and you have a credit card that you're utilizing because you're going to spend money anyways, but you're earning money back, and you're starting to pay attention to, okay, where do you spend your money? If you start doing these things and you're intentional about how you spend your money, where you put your money, and how you grow your money, you cannot grow anything that you are not measuring. If you're measuring your money every time you get paid, it doesn't matter who's in office. It doesn't matter what they're taking away. It doesn't matter what limits are out there in the world, because there's always going to be opportunity in those limitations, because it is a law. By law, it cannot exist in this world. Okay? So once you understand that, it doesn't matter if freaking aliens were president. You have a plan and you're sticking to it. And that's all that matters. And the more that you attack it, and the more that you learn, and the more that you grow, you continue to add to it, it's going to repay you with time. And who cares if it takes 10, 20, 30 years on the 30? Imagine somebody tells you right now, like, oh, you just got to wait 30 years, but on your, like for a person like me, like in 30 years, okay. You don't have to do the same thing for 30 years, but on the 30th year, you're going to have everything you ever wanted, and you're never going to have to worry about those last 30 years, because the next 30 years you can live them how you want to live. Why would we not? Right? Why would we not? Commit. Like, commit to yourself, right? Because we're here to own our health, and we're here to own our wealth. And the only way for us to do it is if we commit to ourselves and we understand how to put ourselves in position. And the only way to do that is if we're aware of what is out there. So lastly, the last thing I'm gonna leave you guys with is surround yourself around growing individuals. Surround yourself around people that have the things that you want. Surround yourself around people that are successful. Ask people questions, get close to them, listen to the way that they respond to things, how they answer things, how they do things on a day-to-day basis. It's going to be important, right? Because in order for us to know things, we have to be aware. And the only way that we're aware is if we're having these conversations, if we're bringing awareness. And a lot of the times, the people that we're around don't live the lives that they want, or they don't even live the lives that we want. So it's like, I'm having conversations with people that are not adding any value to me and are not nowhere near where I want to be, but I'm investing the only thing that I can never get back, my time and my energy, into these conversations. It's important to be around people that have success, that have the success that you want, right? Because why would you be around somebody who is successful in dogs when you're somebody that wants to be in real estate? Like, maybe you can get some success tips from that person on how to be like disciplined and like, you know, how to like get up when you don't want, like, you know, things like that. But like, you want to align with somebody who has the results that you want, so that you can see how they're attacking life on a day-to-day basis. And it may be different for you, right? Because we all have a different life. I'm not saying match, your life is going to be exactly like them if you follow everything they do, but success leaves clues. If you're able to pay attention to these people, be around these people, hear how they operate, think, do things, speak, you'll be able to pick up on it. It's kind of like when you're in a relationship and eventually you start to like say little things that your partner says, or you start to do things the way that your partner does. Like, it rubs off. The way being around people, it rubs off. So that's why they say, if you're around 9 broke people, you're bound to be the 10th one. If you're around 9 successful people, you're bound to be the 10th one. So that's all I got for you guys for tonight on another episode of Health Builds Wealth. I hope this conversation, empowered you to want to learn a little bit more. Like, what am I doing with money? How can I grow my money? Yeah, it's right. She's right. Like, I do know how to make money, but how do I grow my money? How do I speak the language of money? How do I grow my money so that I can own my health and own my wealth and do the things that I want to do and put myself in place so that no matter what happens, no matter what lack is put in my life, there's opportunity and I am prepared for the opportunity, so that people on the outside, and it doesn't even matter about people, so that I can feel like, damn, I got lucky on that one, right? So luck, success can breach in our lives so we can be aligned with it, right? Because success is preparation. When preparation meets opportunity, regardless of what's happening in the world, regardless of who's in office. And I'm gonna leave you guys with this. I'm gonna leave you guys with two things. One is like, I've also studying successful people and like listening to people's success stories, I realized that a lot of people have created success stories in their lives through hard times in the world because they saw an opportunity for them to take on what it is that they've been wanting to do. So I just want to like think about COVID. How many people you know started a business or a new skill set or learned something different during a time that we were all like confused and worried and not knowing what was going on in the world and like suffocated, and we were controlled. We were controlled, and so much came out of COVID. We started to cook more. We started to spend time more with our families. We started to do things on our own more. We started to figure out how to say happy birthday in different ways. We started to watch movies in different ways and interact, right? There's always opportunity in the lack. So no matter what is going on. So I just want you guys, I want to leave you guys with that. I'm such an education person. Like I'm always seeking to learn. I'm always seeking to be left with some type of information, or like I like to be challenged. Like I'm just that person. So it wouldn't be me if I didn't leave this episode with a little activity, or to just leave you thinking, or to just leave you like with just a little something for you to take on, right? Like for you to have. Like I want to give you something. I not only do I want to give you the awareness of what is out there and what, the little plan that you should be putting in place and for you to start researching, I also want you to keep in mind, here's the financial action plan for this week. And I'm going to do it with you guys because I'm on the same journey. Review your savings and investments accounts. So we're going to review our income. We're going to review what we have saved, what we have invested, what we have coming in. Are you paying yourself first? So are we like making sure we're putting some money on the side for us to spend or for a bad day? Set up or increase your automatic transfers to build wealth effortlessly. This is basically saying, like, remember I said we got to pay our credit cards on time. Why? Because even if you have high utilization on your card, if you're paying it on time, that's going to help you build your credit no matter what. And the whole purpose is to build your credit and to build good habits. Pay your stuff on time and automatically set your money when it comes in to diversify stuff. So remember I talked about the 10%, putting it away. Put 10% away and pay yourself, whether it's an investment account, whether it's an emergency savings, whether it's just a savings, or like for me, let's just say I get paid $2,000, right? My money just separates, but 10% of that goes into my emergency savings, and then I have it separated for like a savings. I have it saved for like my birthday savings. So when I look at my account, I'm not looking at the whole $2,000 and saying, oh, I have $2,000. No, there's things that I have to pay. I only have $50 because that's what's in my spending account. So it kind of structures my mind to now not think that I have more than what I have. And sometimes that can happen. Like we can spend all our money thinking that we have more than what we have. And then when you see, you're like, oh my God, I gotta wait a whole nother week for my check for me to take care of everything else that I have to have. So that's kind of how you can kind of trick your mind by just already separating it. And I'm guessing that that's what it's saying. Automatically transfer to build wealth effortlessly. And that's what we're here for, to build wealth effortlessly, right? We're here to build our wealth. So you're gonna have to automatically transfer your money. I don't know how much percentage you want to put in each account, but just be realistic with yourself. Where do you spend your most money? And create accounts for that and be realistic. And I think that's important because I read a book, which I'm going to suggest to you guys, but he had basically said, Ramit, he was basically saying like, it's important to separate your money because a lot of times things just happen. And like, okay, let's say you get paid $2,000 and you don't separate your money, and like you think that you're good at budgeting your money, right? But then like somebody's birthday may come up, or somebody may invite you somewhere, and maybe the tire got messed up, and like things just happen, and you end up spending more than what you think you have, and that leads to destruction because now you're setting yourself back, versus if you already set it up where you're funneling your money, then you know how much you can spend. And if somebody invites you out to eat and you're like, damn, I only got $50, you know that you're gonna order the appetizer and a water with lemon to give it some flavor, and that's all we're gonna do, right? That's all we're gonna do because we only have $50. Versus if we have the whole $2,000 on our account, we're gonna be like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna get a drink because, and then you're gonna get lit, and you're gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna order an appetizer. You want an appetizer? So everybody gets an appetizer, and then that, and then you wake up the next morning, you're like, why did I do that to myself? Versus if your money was already separated, your card would have declined, and you would have been embarrassed, you would have took yourself home, and you wouldn't have to worry about that. So that's why you trick yourself and you funnel and you automatically set your money so that you can have you can build effortless wealth. Next, look into additional income streams to increase your financial security. I gave you guys a list of different ways to grow your money. Like, I know you know how to make money. I know you know how to make money, but I want you to be as confident as it is to make money. I want you to learn how to grow your money. And in order to grow your money, you have to invest it. And I know you're emotionally attached to it. That is okay. That is why you have to do your research for you to know what fits you. So do the research on accounts for you to grow your money and what works best for you and your plan and what you want to do with yourself, okay? And then lastly, and most importantly, stay focused on your vision and not the noise around you. The noise is going to be there. It's always going to be noise because with every intention, there's disruption. There's always going to be disruption. As long as you stick to your plan, you pay on time, you pay yourself, you separate your money, you know how much you can spend, and you put it in places where it's going to grow with time. Compound interest. Look it up. Einstein said it is the seventh wonder of the world. Compound interest. If you can learn compound interest, my peoples, you're on your way to wealth. And what is more better than just owning your wealth so that you can be a healthy individual, you can live longer, and you can spend more time with your family, do everything that you want to do, not have to worry how much it is, not have to worry about going back and having to stack again or spend the check and get it right back. Nah, it's just growing, because even when you're on vacation and you're doing things, or it's like a rainy day, you're still in that flow and that sequence of building your wealth effortlessly, okay? So that's all I got for you guys today. I'm rooting for you. Do the exercise. Do it for yourself. Invest in yourself. And let's build wealth. Let's build our health and our wealth effortlessly. Okay? And in order for us to do that, we've got to get educated. We've got to share the information. We've got to help one another and make it normal for us to like be talking about these things. Like, we know that the people at the top be having these conversations on a regular. Like, they go to events. Like, what they say deals are closed on the golf course. Like, successful men go on the golf course and play golf and have closed deals. Like, we need to be having these conversations and like closing deals for ourselves. Period. We need to start learning where the deals are. Like, where's the deals? All right, I love you guys. Thank you so much for just tuning in. Please subscribe, please like, support, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of Health Builds Wealth. Take care. Period.